Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I've got a meme up there for you all to look at. Antonin Scalia, we all remember him. If you notice my thumbnail tonight, I've got "It's Afraid" in quotes. Do you remember that movie Starship Trooper? When they caught the master bug, the big bug that was scaring everybody or in charge of all the other bugs, and that was one of the lines in the movie. It's afraid. And I'll get into what I mean about that in a minute. And quick trial sign. What does that mean? Well, the meaning to put out signs they're afraid of quick trials and the consequences. So, and blame Trump. You know how that goes. As per usual, the train derailment is Trump's fault. Did you know that? Well, if you didn't know it, now you know. I'll get into that also. Along with many other things, I would like to thank my new subscribers. I'll be going over some memes while I'm talking and while we wait for people to get into the chats. Let's see. Oh, we got a lot of people in here. How you doing? Hi, everybody. Hi, Bubba, Nikki, Leisha, Jax, Doc. How you doing? Jamie, Ronald. Everybody's coming in. B-Dog, happy days. Ha. Good. It's good to see you all. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Let's see if Colleen makes it in. I want to tell her we're thinking about her and hope she's doing good. And hopefully she watched a few videos so I suggested to her. And we're all pulling for her, of course. Hi, everybody coming in. Thank you all. If I missed anybody, forgive me because sometimes I just can't keep up with it. But so the theme of this tonight's broadcast is now that we're getting where things are starting to be laid out in front of everybody. I put up last night a bunch of articles and things you could take screenshots of to keep in your arsenal, or as Nancy Pelosi used to say, your quiver. And TJ Katz, how you doing? So you could send it out if somebody says something kooky to you or is with the regular narrative. They're not keeping up with what's going on. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm also going to be putting up some memes for my new subscribers that some of you may have seen in the past. But what we got to get past as a nation. Hi, Brighter Day. Hi, Happy Days. Hi, back to back. How you doing? What we got to get past as a nation is this notion of being afraid. I was going to put on my thumbnail, "Be not afraid." Okay. But as I say, there's only so much room for thumbnails. But the thing is especially with this balloon business turning into a UFO scare, isn't that what they've always played on us? Fear. And, if we didn't respond, they would increase the threat or perceived threat until we did get afraid, and then they took control. Okay? So the biggest episode we've been through is this business of everybody taking the treatment and demanding that others take the treatment and not really scratching below the surface of who was offering this treatment, who was scaring us into this treatment, why this situation came about. And that's the stuff we're starting to question now, right? Hi, Sharon. How you doing? So anyway, what did we have? What did we have come up? We had people feeling righteous, more righteous than others. They're doing the right thing by what you see on the screen, covering their faces up and treating others who didn't want to do that like they were the ones hurting society. And we're getting to the point now where, okay, people who are reasonably afraid that they'll catch something, like I said many times in the past, when it was cold out, my mother used to put a scarf around her face, or I mean, she never went out and bought anything specifically for that, but she did make sure she covered up and didn't want to catch any germs. I mean, that's something that we've been taught since we were kids, to dress warmly, especially in the winter, or to cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze, or so. But they taken it to the point that they took it to. So if they want to keep that up, we can resort to mockery. I was going to put in the thumbnail, it's time to mock the mockers, as I was watching especially that football player who popped up out of the blue being everything's okay after he corked off on the field, having a jacket that was mocking the cross. It's time we start mocking the mockers. Because as I've said, and I'll have to pull the verse up, God will mock evil people or foolish people when their evil designs come to calamity, come to catastrophe. He will mock them as they suffer the results of their own deeds. So it's getting maybe to that point. Time to mock them. Hi, Melvita. How you doing? I saw Reba in here earlier. Hey, hanging. That's pushing it, that name, but we'll let it roll. But if you get me in trouble, you're going to hear about it. Ha ha. Hi, Lori. Hi, Nix. Tubala. Marla, welcome back. So, it's good to see you all. Anyway, I think this meme speaks for itself. Let me get that where if you want to take a screenshot of it, you'll get to, there you go. That's a good way to get a screenshot of it. If somebody tells you stay safe, it's another thing. I can always tell when somebody's being condescending to me when they email me or talk to me at whatever medium. They always say, stay safe. That's fading away, but it was a sure sign that it was somebody on board with the program of getting something in their shoulder, and chances were they had a UKR flag in their bio. So they tell me to stay safe. I send them this meme. You too, stay safe. Look how ridiculous they look. That's the thing. I mean, I don't think they have to worry about anything floating around in the air. It's what's sitting on the dinner table. So here we go. If you can't get through to one and you keep on haranguing you or aggravating you on Meta, FB, or whatever you're talking to, just put that one in there for them. It's getting to the point where that's all they're going to have to turn to is crying the blues. And that's coming because I'll get into that in a minute about what there was an article in Rolling Stones. And it's a follow-up article. I'll get into it in a second. But where they discussed the federal DEATH penalty, okay? Blaming that on Trump also. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Quilt. So anyway, yeah, Ronald. How you doing, Ronald? Yeah, I'm sure that they purposefully, like we know that they're messing with our egg supply, our chickens, okay? We know that. So if they could do something, dump something in there that would cause problems, it is a FF, I agree. But that doesn't mean it's not a dangerous FF. Okay? Here's a video you might want to look up. I'm surprised they still have them up. This is on YouTube. Okay? But it shows that there are people coming out with concerns. There's this guy named Hacksman. I don't watch him, but I did. I'm bringing this to your attention to show you that, yeah, there is problems with our egg supply. And the real bottom line is that they are facing the end of their road. And they're running out of moves. And they get desperate. So all assets deployed, right? They've got the media on their side. Here we go. I put this one up recently. But we're being able to see through the media now. We're being able to see through the media for what they're worth. We've got those glasses like they have in that movie. You know, we got to be able to give our friends those same pair of glasses so they can see these news reporters for what they really are. And just about everybody I know, every family, a few probably, but just about every family I know eats eggs, okay? So the push to mock the word of God and to mock God himself, such as the halftime show, which I'm not going to go into that. I mean, I'm not going to corrupt my eyes and my mind by watching Rihanna's performance or dwelling too long on that jacket he was wearing. I know it's blasphemous, and it's meant to corrupt. Okay, so but with those things in mind, the destruction of society, beginning with our young people, they're trying to put it up as a firewall where you have Trump saying when he comes back, he's going to straighten out this business of, well, a lot of things, but one thing is the push in the schools to get children to question who they really are. Well, you get those people worked up and on your side, and you recruit as many of them as you can. You're going to have a larger army, so to speak. So I was glad to see this photograph here coming on some other channels. The one of Putin handing over the soccer ball. This is a video I did about a year ago. So it one of my first thumbnails, and it's when Putin handed the ball to Trump. And I know everybody says, well, there was a message in the ball. You know, there probably was. But the metaphor is that they are a team. And I don't mean like a team like they were saying Trump colluded with Russia, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about the alliance of nations that are fighting against what has been called satanic powers, okay, by other world leaders. Erdogan in Turkey was the latest, who said, get your grubby, filthy hands off of us. Leave us alone with your grinning masked faces and your satanic ways. Putin's called them satanic, okay, the Western powers. So in that first video, I focused on treaties and laws, which are under the Code of the United States of America. This was when everybody was worried about Department of Defense 11.3. Well, you look up the code of the U.S. laws and treaties, it's 11.3, okay? So it wasn't just the laws of war. It is our international responsibilities with other countries. And that's why I'm hoping that the Thailand situation, if there are verifiable charges brought by the military or any other authoritative entity, that we have to extradite these people, okay? Or through treaty, try them in our country or in an international setting for the things they're accused of. Hi, Tennessee. How you doing? Hi, Wanda. Richard. So everybody's coming in. Yeah, that's good. So anyway, let me see where I was at before I got off that. So anyway, their message is getting blurred. And I was going through my phone, looking up stuff that people that may be tuning into, not necessarily me, but sites like me that are interested in what's going on. And I found something I had talked about, but I didn't have the snapshot of the actual post. But how many of you all have heard of Santa surfing? Santa surfing beach broadcast. Let me see who's in the chats that remembers that. I know there's a 10 or 20 second delay. 10 seconds till you hear what I'm saying and 10 seconds till I see what you type. Okay, so I want to see how many of you put a bunch of fives in if you've heard of Santa surfing beach broadcast. Zeros if you haven't. Okay, I see Quilt's Doc, B-Dog. Now, they go Sammy, right? Right? Who said that? Hope said that, right? Go Sammy. Go Sammy. Have you all watched? Jack says, yeah. Tennessee says, yeah. Nix, Richard, David, Doc, everybody, a lot of people. Well, have you seen her lately? How many have seen her lately? And when you think about it, when was the last time you heard from her? Nikki's heard. Go Sammy. And she always put up, encouraging videos and up to date. She was more financial than anything else. And she was out of Hawaii, right? A few years ago, ANO came out and said she was a liar and a fake. Yeah, Debbie, that's why they have to be ANON, okay? Because they are liars and fakes. She was a good person. But anyway, and she did very good videos, and everything she put up was verifiable. Every single thing. So anyway, here's one of her last posts, okay? Right here, guys. And if you want to look it up, it's up there. It was beachbroadcastnews.com, okay? If you all want to check it out. Now, there may be something else on there, but this was December 20th, 2021. She came back briefly after this. Hi, Michael. Nice to be with you guys, too. She's on locals now, Bubba says. Well, this is what happened, why she was down for a long time. You see there on the screen. She was down for over a year. Due to threats on my life, I will not be posting any further videos for now. Yeah, she was on yesterday. Yeah, she's coming back. But the thing is, there were THREATs against her. And prior to her posting this, she had gone down for a month for the same reason. Then after this, she went down for about a year. So just want to let you know that this is not a game. It's not a game. These people are vicious. But we're now in the time of Elon taking over Twitter. They feel that Trump is coming back. They know he's coming back. Now, let me find that one. Here we go. Here was a Rolling Stone article that came out, I don't know, maybe a month ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks to a month ago. Rolling Stone, Jack Posobiec put this up. Trump's KILL spree, the inside story of his race to execute every prisoner he could. Before 2020, there had been 3 federal executions in 60 years. Then Trump put 13 people in 6 months. Well, if those of you who have followed me and will remember this, I put up where Bill Barr removed the moratorium on the federal death penalty back in December of 2020, okay? And he also added, Bill Barr, just before he left off his office, he expanded the methods, okay? That was in December of 2020, okay? Now in 2023, we got Rolling Stone coming up with this article a couple of weeks ago talking about Trump. So, okay. Yeah, Santa surfing. That's right. Well, anyway, so what did they come out with yesterday? What did they come out with yesterday? That's why I put in there, it's afraid. And what by it's afraid, I mean, you can call it a deep state. You can call it the Luciferian Church or whatever you want to call it. It is an opposition to the word. Okay. And like I said, I only know one entity that is an enemy of God. Okay. And that is Satan. So Trump plans to bring back firing squads, group executions if he retakes the White House. Oh, really? Well, that's already been changed. The Biden administration just put a moratorium on it. That's all they did. They are refusing to enforce it. Okay? He's already been brought that back. Not only firing squads, but gas chambers, electric chairs, HANG, okay? Them. A lot of different ways. But anyway, this article, it's fuzzy, but let me see what it said. What do you think of firing squads? That's the question Donald Trump repeatedly asked some close associates in the run-up to the 2024 presidential campaign. 3 people familiar with the situation tell Rolling Stones. It's not an idle inquiry. He's still committed to expanding the use of the federal death penalty. It's already been expanded, pal, whoever wrote this article. And bringing back banned methods. They were never banned, okay? That was bureaucratically stopped by fiat, not by any law. He has even, one of the resources recounts, mused about televised footage, okay, including showing condemned prisoners in the final moments of their lives. Well, I'll tell you something that I've already brought up in the past. I've already seen one live on television along with tens of millions of other Americans. Let me move this off the side so I can see the chats. But I want to ask people, who remembers what I'm talking about? Who remembers what I'm talking about as far as I actually saw somebody get the stuff. I think they used sodium. What is it? Phenobarbital or something like that. Sodium pentothal. Wanda remembers, and it was televised. The last minutes of this person's life was televised. It was during the Clinton administration. Who put that up there? Jax, that word virus, please change it. That's a trigger word. No, not McStain, and we don't say his name either. At least I don't. All right. Well, I don't know how long. Let's see. I'll give it another 10 seconds. But Wanda remembers when I discussed it, and who is the one that ordered it and prosecuted it. And I will say that same person is in power right now. That same person is in power right now. It's okay, Jax. Just take care of it, buddy, like it never even happened. But we do got to be careful. I'll tell y'all who was the prosecutor of this individual who had the final moments of their life televised. No, not Manson. That was back in Manson died of old age. I had a friend who interviewed Manson a couple of times, a reporter. He passed away about 5 years ago, the reporter did, and then Manson died after that. But anyway, hi, Pamela. How you doing? No, you're right on time. The question is, because they are putting up an article, Rolling Stone's putting up an article saying Trump plans to bring back firing squads, group executions if he retakes the White House. I'm already just talking about that, why they're afraid. And I don't, David got it. McVeigh. Timothy McVeigh. And who was the prosecutor? He was on television. They had the entire television screen was his face. From his chin to the top of his head filled the screen. And we all sat there and watched while his eyes started clouding over and he passed away. Wanda got it right. Merrick Garland. So, this Rolling Stone article happened on your birthday. I'll be darned, Pamela. So, I'm not fibbing, am I? They put it on television. It's the first time I am aware of there being an execution being televised. So, they're saying, like, Trump is doing this novel thing that is barbaric and nobody's ever done before, and he's bringing back banned methods. Well, it's ridiculous. And also, the person who put this in motion with McVeigh is in power now as the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. Trump has talked about bringing back the penalty by firing squad, hanging, according to two of the sources, possibly even guillotine. He also, sources say, have talked about group executions. Well, we had a group execution at Nuremberg. It was one at a time, but, within a matter of hours, they all had the same date. I'll put it that way. Trump floated these ideas while discussing planned campaign rhetoric and policy desires, as well as disdain for President Biden's approach to crime. Trump privately mused about the possibility of creating flashy government-backed video campaign that would accompany a federal revival of these methods. In Trump's vision, these videos would include from these new executions, if not from the exact moments of death. The former president believes this would help put the fear of God into violent criminals. Well, hey, we didn't videotape them, but they took film of the Nuremberg situation, okay? So the fact that you see these people starting to talk about it, showing their concern. I'm going to put my favorite meme from the balloon situation, okay? Here's my favorite meme from the balloon situation. There you go. Ha ha. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Appeals, whenever, let's see. I tell you, that's changing, though, these appeals. I see a little bit of what you all talking about. Michael says Garland deserves speedy justice. Well, I can tell you one of my theories, Michael, is that Garland may be a plant, okay? He's one of the few people in that administration that has a traditional family and has never been tangled up in any kind of shenanigans like Fast and Furious, the IRS scandal, you name it. He wasn't involved in one of those things. And he has what I call a traditional family, although one of his kids, I think, has got some issues. But what father or mother doesn't deal with a kid with issues? God bless you if you don't have a kid with issues. So I'm up in the air about Garland. Now, here's one of my all-time favorite memes, and I think it got me in trouble once, and it might get me in trouble again. But this one you might want to get a screenshot of. Here you go. My plumber intel friend gave me that. Sometimes he listens in. But that's one you might want to get a screenshot of if, depending on how FB your parents dealt with your issues. All right, I bet they did, Richard. But, yeah. I'm just reading some of y'all's comments. Yeah, I tell you, if you got a kid that's doing good, cross your fingers, especially in today's environment. What do I got? Here's the kind of garbage they look at in school, okay? This is a good one to post on Facebook. This is an actual what do you call it? Campaign by the people on the far left to fight bigotry. That has to change, don't you see? Yeah, get a screenshot of it and just put it on your Facebook, and you'll see people go, "What in the world are you talking about?" Just say I'm just putting out there what they're showing our children. So they tried to blame the balloon business on Trump, saying, "Oh, he had them too. He had balloons too, and that fell apart." But where is that meme I put up last night? I might have taken it out of my studio where they say they'll create crises. They'll create crises to increase their power, right? I don't want to find that meme. I'll just put this up and tell you what I think about it. U.S. establishes interagency team to study UFOs. Because of this balloon business. They couldn't pin it on Trump. Nobody was buying that garbage. But they created this crisis, okay? Whoops. What in the world? They don't want to go away. Go away. Ha ha. They created this crisis. And nobody's buying into it. So they create an agency. Okay, what does that mean? That means money. That means jobs for relatives that are already in the bureaucratic system. All right. And not only is it a job, they've got influence. They've got the best health care. They've got the most days off. They got the most holidays, vacation days, sick days, like Pete Buttigieg and his husband, maternity days, blah, 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 blah. And they just grow this monster, okay? And you know that when it comes time to vote, that how many people that are getting recruited into this interagency nonsense are going to do just like the 86,000 IRS agents and vote for whoever's going to keep them in their job. So, speaking of Pete Buttigieg, and I know we can make fun of his name and his way of being 6 ways a Sunday, but here's a meme somebody put up. The little engine that couldn't. He was saying that a lot of the roads and train system and things were the way they were because of racism. Now, how you figure that one out? All right. Jet just shot down something over Mount Wilson Ranch today. It used to be Skinwalker Ranch. Well, yeah, Mike, I'm gonna say one more thing about this UFO business. I was talking last night. Christ told us to worry about today and tomorrow take care of itself, number one. Number two, the Revelations does not say anything about UFOs, doesn't say anything about Bigfoot, doesn't say anything about skinwalkers, doesn't say anything about supernatural creatures. It tells us to worry about our own flesh and blood that have turned against God. That is those that have taken the side of Satan. Because this battle that is it. That's the battle. The people that are with God versus the people that are with Satan. So this distraction business of turning this UFO business of Biden's failure to protect this country and exposing him for working with China they're not going to get me to worry about UFOs. They're not going to make a monkey out of me. Okay? Because I know what the balloons are about. The balloons are about the Biden administration letting China have their way with this country. Now, this was from Bernie on Truth and RTV. The truth is shining. UFO distraction fails. Okay? Breaking. U.S. intelligence watched spy balloon as it lifted off near China's south coast. U.S. military tracked it for a week. CBS News on Tuesday night reported U.S. intelligence actually saw a spy balloon lift off near China's south coast and tracked it for nearly a week before it entered U.S. airspace. Okay? But now they're acting like it's something mysterious. They're all over the place. Trump did it too. And now we got to open up a UFO thing and get everybody to not look at the actual fact of what happened. They allowed this adversarial nation to leisurely go over a country and gather information on us. Here's something that'll show you what this whole battle's about, folks. Right here. This is another video I saw today. Twisted Minds. I did Satan proud. Okay? So it's here. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. This one. I can't say some of the words in this. A Canadian trans male who is serving a rare, indeterminate prison sentence, okay, for doing something wrong with a baby. A baby, B-A-B-Y, is currently being held in a woman's prison in British Columbia that has a mother and baby unit. There's the person right here. Okay? Born one way and decided to turn themselves another way. And this is by the post-millennium, okay? Canadian trans-identified male serving a rare indeterminate prison sentence, okay? And let's take a look at this one. Another one. What's this? Gateway Pundit. Shut the schools down now. My friend, Truth and Art TV. Shut the schools down now. Start indictments now. What does this say? In 53 Illinois schools, not a single student can do math at grade level. In 53 schools, not one student can do math at the grade level they are in. So you can read the rest of that. But the bottom line is they're coming into these schools and they are recruiting. Okay? They're recruiting. I'm not going to use the word GROOM because that gets me in trouble. But I'll say they're recruiting. And now that we're getting their death grip off of social media, this was pre-Elon right here. Pre-Elon. And this is another one I like to used to put up on FB. Okay? Whenever they fact check me or take down one of my memes, I say, these are people reporting your memes. And that's the way it was, folks. Let's see. The school system. I told you that we got this thing broken down into judicial needs an enema, judicial system, the prosecutors, okay, governors, education system, our so-called science, all right. All these things are being looked at in singular, each establishment, colleges, okay, right on down the line. And to stick with the education system, here we go. Look at this one. This is what Fox News reported is. Fingerprints of unvaccinated New York City teachers reportedly were sent to the FBI with problem codes. Okay? In other words, they were sending this to a entity that investigates criminal activity, okay, reporting them to law enforcement as a problem. The teachers that didn't want to go through that. So we got to get these people rooted out. Here was a good one that popped up. Benny Johnson, he's a good one to follow on Twitter. Donald Trump hanging out. Kyle's looking a little tubby there. He better watch out. He's got all that money in now, and he's eating good. That's right, Nikki. I wouldn't have him in public school either. But, so many people don't have the time. And we got this Capitol Police. That's another group that is going to be singled out. Here's this guy that was a hero. This is a picture you might want to take. How he's talking about how he suffered on that specific day. And then here's a picture I have of what was going on in the Capitol building. You tell me. You tell me if that's him or not. I would get both of those pictures and put them one on top of the other on FB, Twitter, wherever, and say, expose this person. Here we go. Take a look at him. There he is. There he is testifying how he suffered and probably getting a big retirement, getting a bunch of money from the government because he said he was victimized. And then you got this picture here. Okay. And you got this picture. We're talking about we had our school system first infiltrated, I'd say, by this individual here. Wait a minute. I've got to put that back up. It was first infiltrated by this individual right here. And in this particular picture, if you look good, real close at it, it reminded me %, versus with at least one J, 67, 2J. Oh my gosh. Not me. But anyway, that made me think of this ad. And they hated it when I put this up. Those two pictures really got them mad there. This one, the one I just covered up, and this one. This is an old ad for razor blades. And Red told me he had a picture of her when she was in school and she had a dress on when she was 6, 7 years old. And so he wasn't sure. Then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. I got pictures of Brittany Griner, okay, in pigtails. And then I also have pictures that are very obvious that they're not who Mama was claiming they were, okay? So anyway, that used to drive them nuts. I don't want you to get kicked off there. So let's see, we're rolling along here. Let me see. I got something here about this Nord Stream pipeline that a Russian member of their Senate or Parliament came out and declared. Let me see. Where is it? Well, they declared that these are so hard to read when they're in studio. Oh, here's one for you. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. This was on YouTube, Memology 102, okay? Can't imagine why. This is in the New York Post. I'm an ex-banker, genderless dragon. Now my son won't talk to me. So you can see for yourself what people do to themselves. And don't tell me that's, and nobody can tell me that's on the side of righteousness. Oh, I tell you what, we were talking about this the other night. then and now. If you want to see how she did that to herself, Dr. Gary Linkoff did a video. Okay, how somebody could go from that to that. And he gave all these methods and ways that doctors do things, but he left out the, you need a little sprinkle of Satan, okay, to get that kind of a look. That is a look that no doctor can come up with. If I could find that article about that Russian legislator who was talking about Biden and Nord Stream. But anyway, I'll pull it up in another video. And before I leave the China balloon thing, I'll put this up real quick. If you all want to show to your friends, if they doubt about that China balloon, I already put up one thing you could show them. But 65 Democrats just voted against a committee to investigate China. Okay? That's in the U.S. House of Representatives. If you got anybody that's on the fence and needs a little push over the fence, that's a good one to put up there for them. And those people need to be gotten out. So, but the thing with Madonna there, and what I showed about international treaties, what everybody's forgotten about, she's being investigated, okay? That hadn't gone away. That hasn't gone away. So it's a lot to keep an eye on, but I know in the back of my mind that there's a lot of criminality going on that's being investigated. It's not being ignored. And they don't have the ability to cover it up like they used to. Now, this was nauseating. Scotland. Scottish Express put this out. They're on Twitter. Anger as police Scotland rebrands minor attracted people. Okay. So, along with this, Police Scotland, along with this, Trump put out a bulletin today about, I believe, the Prime Minister in Scotland resigning. And I'm wondering if I could find that. Here we go. Maybe this is it. Good riddance. There we go. Good riddance to failed woke extremist Nicola Sturgeon of Scotland. This crazed leftist symbolized everything wrong with identity politics. Sturgeon thought it was okay to put a biological man in a woman's prison, and if that wasn't bad enough, Sturgeon fought for a gender recognition reform bill that would have allowed 16-year-old children to change without medical advice. Okay? So you had this with the police, and then you have that person is gone, okay? So, anyway, good signs. And if people, let's see, oh, by the way, this is a viewer-supported and creator-supported broadcast. If you want to help the channel out, I've got a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. And I appreciate everybody just helped me out this month. And it was somebody, and Aaron and Wanda helped this month, and all the folks that helped me last year or first month of the year. I appreciate you all very much. I've seen some of you in the chats, and I'm going to get a banner to put up with everybody's name that's helped me out. Wanda, thank you, honey. I appreciate you helping me. So, anyway, Pamela's in there. Pamela's helped me. I appreciate Pamela. I'm seeing who all's in here. If I missed anybody. Norman, is Norman in here? He's helped me. So anyway, like I said, it's a link in the description if you want to help out, because I'm a one-man band. I'm an old man with a cell phone, just trying to put out some things there that you can use to show your friends. And I always put like 50 things in here. I think I can go over real quick. But, after I talk about them for a little bit, I'm going to give a shout out to Red. He put this up today. And that's his Hello America channel. If you want to join that or take a look at that, you can help out with producing that channel. It's an interactive channel. I haven't seen him tonight. So anyway, he put this up. We all know the First Amendment, but underneath that is a quote from George Washington. A free people ought not only be armed and disciplined, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition, to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. So anyway, I didn't get through half the things I wanted to get through. But I will put up one thing of encouragement. This was on Utizzle. The Impossible Burger. Remember our friend from down south, Oakman, was saying they had the Future Burger they were trying to get everybody to eat. Impossible Foods has announced another round of layoffs for its workforce. The plant-based meat alternative company is reportedly cutting 20% of its workforce. So there is some nasty looking thing that they want to tell you is as good as a hamburger. So that's some good news. But if anybody talks about how nasty the representatives were by booing Joe Biden, just send them this one, okay? Send them that. Ha ha ha. So, folks, I appreciate your help, any support you can give me. And I appreciate you if you'll give me a like, if you'll share, if you'll subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'm going to play this video as we go out. And I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Get your pencils out, lick them, and get ready to write this down. It is not going to happen. We are not going to go off into that good night without standing up for our rights. It's time for the law-abiding American patriot in this nation to stand up and say, hell no, we will not go, and you will not take them, and we will continue to stand strong for what we know is right. We will protect ourselves. We will protect our children.